When it comes to precision boxing, calculated kicks, and an impeccable art of the counterattack, few can match Jack Della Maddalena. The 28-year-old jiu-jitsu black belt and knockout artist has left an indelible mark on the welterweight division. With a staggering 84% finish rate and a devastating 17-fight winning streak, Jack has knocked down every opponent the UFC has thrown his way. Now, as he prepares, his mission is clear: reclaim the throne and restore welterweight glory. Let's remember together how this phenomenon has destroyed his opponents, leaving a trail of brutal blows and flawless submissions. But before continuing, subscribe. Jack Della Maddalena was born on September 10, 1996 in Perth, Australia. From a young age, he showed an interest in sports, starting with rugby at age 8. However, at 14, influenced by his older brother, he joined a boxing gym to improve his physical condition. This move marked the beginning of his passion for mixed martial arts, MMA. After a brief rugby career, Jack decided to dedicate himself fully to MMA. Although his first 2 professional fights ended in defeat, he didn't give up. Instead, he worked hard to perfect his technique, achieving an impressive 9-fight winning streak and winning the Eternal Welterweight Championship, which he defended 4 times. In 2021, his talent caught the attention of Dana White, who offered him a contract with the UFC after a standout performance on Dana White's Contender Series. Since then, Jack has proven to be an exceptional fighter, combining precise boxing with Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills, which has led him to become one of the most exciting contenders in the welterweight division. At Eternal MMA 15, Jack Della burst onto the cage in a fight packed with energy and determination. The bout took place on March 12, 2016, in Perth, where the tension and preparation of both fighters are palpable. Jack Della versus Aldine Bates. From the first round, the fight became a spectacle of speed and strategy. Jack Della tried to impose an aggressive rhythm, deploying precise punches and quick attacks, while Aldine Bates waited for the right moment to counterpunch. The action intensified with each minute. The fight quickly escalated, reflecting the grit of a rookie unafraid to face seasoned warriors. However, in the 3rd round, Aldine Bates found the perfect opportunity and launched a shocking offensive that culminated in a decisive finish. Although Della's debut didn't end in a victory, the display of his aggression and technique hinted at a promising future in the world of MMA. In his first fights, things didn't go very well for him, gaining experience after several defeats, but his moment to shine would come. Jack Della Maddalena versus Brant Cogill. From the start of the first round, Jack unleashed a season of fire in the form of accurate and devastating blows.
Taekwondo.
He just dances in with that little left jab. As you said, Dylan, he's very...
With unusual precision and aggressiveness for a debut, our protagonist combined punches and elbows in a sequence as swift as it was lethal. Within moments, the power of each blow was noticeable. One attack after another followed in rapid succession, leaving Cogill with no room to react. The execution was so impeccable and devastating that the referee had no choice but to stop the fight, decreeing a KO/TKO in the first round.
Open to that.
Yes.
Oh, and he's out. It's all over.
This victory was more than a simple triumph. It was the declaration of intent of a fighter emerging from the shadows to take his place among the sport's elite. On a vibrant night at the Mansfield Tavern in Queensland, Australia, the Rain Fighting 3 event brought together the true warriors of the octagon. Jack Della Maddalena versus Glenn Pettigrew. From the first bell, the intensity was palpable. The two competitors measured their rhythms, evaluating each move and looking for the opening that would allow them to unbalance their opponent.
Looked for Glenn to possibly...
Jack is definitely Jack.
Very, very crisp shots.
However, it was Jack who, with his relentless pressure and surgical precision, set the pace of the fight.
Up on a bit of pattern recognition.
Yeah.
See if Jack Della can pick up on it. Oh, that is a huge head kick, and he follows up.
As the first round progressed, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation, and each blow resonated like a harbinger of the imminent outcome. In the critical 3 minutes and 26 seconds of the first round, Jack Della Maddalena launched a series of devastating strikes that found their mark. With a lethal combination of precise and powerful punches, he knocked Glenn Pettigrew down in lightning-fast fashion, making it clear that technical superiority and competitive hunger went hand in hand. The referee, aware of the devastating effect of the offensive, was forced to stop the fight, awarding Jack a resounding KO/TKO by punches. This result not only allowed Jack to claim the title at stake, but also cemented his reputation as a natural finisher.
Yeah.
See if Jack Della can pick up on it. Oh, that is a huge head kick, and Jack can sense that he's got him in trouble here. He's down. Jack Della's pounding it out, and we've got a new...
His next event was the Cage Warriors 88 preliminary, and in that context, Jack Della Maddalena faced James Duckett. From the start, the fight unfolded in a dynamic exchange. While Duckett tried to keep pace and defend against the aggressive attacks, Jack was relentless, carving his path with accurate strikes and strategic moves that made him inescapable in the octagon.
Della switched stance a couple of times already. Looks to charge forward with those shots, but certainly keeping Jack Della guessing so far in this first. And throw his man to the mat. Oh, it's a reversal though, and it's Duckett with
The fight took a decisive turn in the second round. Taking advantage of an opening, Jack took the fight to the ground, where he deployed his grappling arsenal. With pinpoint precision, he pinned his opponent and at 3 minutes and 44 seconds into the second round, applied a devastating rear naked choke. This submission forced Duckett to tap out, sealing a victory that would resonate deeply in Jack's career.
stepping straight through.
It was quite a technical guard position that James done, but just not tight enough, and he's going to pay.
There's some big elbows from Della, Duckett, and this is tight.
And he's flat out on the hips. This is
Mark Goddard taking a close look, and there's the submission.
In the majestic setting of the WA Italian Club in Perth, the atmosphere was filled with anticipation and excitement. This fight for the Australian Welterweight Championship saw Jack Della Maddalena versus Luke Howard. The fight began with both opponents testing each other out. Luke Howard, seasoned in the fight, sought to establish a solid defensive foundation, while Jack measured every opportunity to launch his trademark offense.
But he does train at Bali MMA. Amazing camp out there in Bali.
Oh, Jack fought.
However, fate was decided in the second round. Just 28 seconds into the round, Jack synchronized his instinct with controlled fury. A precise, devastating punch ripped through, connecting precisely in Howard's face. The power and accuracy of that blow left no room for doubt. In a flash, the referee was forced to stop the fight, declaring a KO/TKO victory for Jack Della Maddalena.
Luke is tough, man.
Nice body shot.
Big shot. He's out cold.
The thrill of a rematch was in the air. Jack Della Maddalena versus Glenn Pettigrew 2. Fate brought these two fighters together once again. From the first bell, tension mounted in the cage. Jack deployed his signature arsenal. Fluid, precise movements with a measured aggression that made it clear he'd learned from every bout before. The first round was a constant dance of attacking and blocking, while Jack applied combinations of punches to the head and body. Pettigrew responded with counterattack attempts, trying to assert himself in the clinch to neutralize the Australian's onslaught. The real display of power came in the second round. With the pace already set and Jack's unstoppable pressure evident, the decisive moment opened as the warrior absorbed the experience of their previous encounter, honing his focus. In a lightning-fast instant, a lethal combination, fusing a dead-on straight punch with swift elbows, found its mark on Pettigrew.
Pettigrew, that landed. Oh, nice jab there. I think that was a bit of a slip there. He's open. It might not be. It might be a finish. Jack Della Maddalena is tough as anything though.
Each blow combined in a devastating sequence that left his opponent without answers. The final blow, a masterful flurry that connected with both Pettigrew's face and torso, forced the referee to intervene to protect his opponent, scoring a TKO that sealed the rematch in favor of Jack Della Maddalena.
As anything though, it's the finish, he's going in. Look, he is hurt, but he seems to have Jack Della not at the moment. Body shot again, I think he's over.
After also settling the score against Aldine Bates, whose victory would grant him a UFC contract, which would have to be earned first at Dana White's Contender Series, Jack Della Maddalena versus Angelusa. The first round was a demonstration of strategy and contained aggression. Jack, aware that every second counted for his future in the UFC, deployed his trademark arsenal. Combinations of quick and incisive strikes, fluid movement, and a varied array of tactics to pressure an opponent who always seemed restless in his attempts to counterattack.
Boy from mixed martial arts, we talked about Volkanovski, tied to Avasa as well. The combinations are clean and tight, technically perfect boxing.
As the rounds progressed, the fight transformed into a true battle of wills. Jack continued to sculpt each round with precision, his punches simultaneously aggressive and measured, brimming with the confidence of a young fighter who was relentless, while Lusa struggled to find an opening. With each round, the scales tipped decisively in Jack Della Maddalena's favor. After 3 full rounds of intense and tactically refined action, the judges had no choice but to award him a unanimous victory, sealing his move to the UFC. His official UFC debut would come at UFC 270. Jack Della Maddalena versus Pete Rodriguez. From the start of the first round, Jack showed why he was considered a rising star. With measured aggression and enviable precision, he moved fluidly inside the octagon.
I feel like he's carrying a lot.
The way he's transitioning back and forth like that. Exactly.
Seeking to capitalize on every opening, his strategy was based on perfect synchronization between attack and counterpunch, which soon put his rival, Pete Rodriguez, under relentless pressure.
Conventional, it's his better fighting stance.
Oh my goodness, Maddalena is going off.
Look at how beat up Rodriguez looks already.
Just out of range of those punches and then coming right back in.
The true work of art was revealed at 2:59 of the first round. In a moment of brilliant anticipation, Jack landed a devastating straight left, a counterpunch so precise that it left Rodriguez without an immediate response. The impact was so powerful that the referee had no choice but to stop the fight, decreeing a TKO that sealed Jack Della Maddalena's victory in spectacular fashion. Every second of the fight was a symphony of aggression and technique, with the debutant making it clear that his arrival in the UFC was no coincidence. The speed and ferocity of that initial punch resonated with the crowd and went down in the event's history, marking a glorious start to the Australian fighter's career.
A rep scrappy MMA, trains under Ben Vickers there in Western Australia.
That's it. That's the fight.
11 in a row.
After some impressive victories in his early days in the UFC, his fight against Randy Brown would arrive. From the moment the bell rang, Jack imposed a devastating pace on the bout. The Australian, accustomed to fighting with the intensity of a home defender, combined his dangerous striking with a tactical vision that allowed him to identify his opponent's weaknesses. Randy Brown, with a history full of challenges, found himself caught in the storm that is Jack. Precise and well-timed punches initiated the dance of aggression. As the first round progressed, Jack marked his territory in the octagon. His offense became relentless, and the combination of blows not only weakened Brown's defense, but also left him visibly exposed to the Australian fighter's strategy. It was at that precise moment at 2:13 when Jack transformed the exchange into a display of superior technique. With the fluidity of a master, he went from a forceful attack to a submission maneuver. He closed the fight by applying a rear naked choke with lethal precision, leaving Randy Brown with no choice but to surrender to his opponent's skill.
Jogo de perna e tá usando muito bem a envergadura, né?
Opa! Vai ficar! Se vira Randy Brown, sente cheiro de sachado, vai pegar, pegou e já!
After 2 decision victories, the fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Gilbert Burns would arrive. During the first round, Burns imposed his rhythm, using his experience to dictate the pace of the fight.
It's always a good guy, and it comes off every time you meet, every time you talk to him. Awesome a person, good a person.
A mix of powerful standing exchanges and precise attacks in the clinch, he managed to force Jack to be constantly alert. Della Maddalena's defense proved solid, but he knew that every second was crucial to find the opening that would allow him to turn the situation around. With the crowd expectant, the titanic exchange of punches and holds ignited the octagon and sowed the seeds of a budding story. The second round transformed into a true tactical duel. Both fighters surrendered to a kind of violent dance, in which each movement was simultaneously an attack and a defense. The climax was defined when, at 3:43 of the third round, a devastating knee was launched with lethal precision towards Burns' head. The sudden burst of power not only disconcerted the veteran, but also forced the officials to intervene, ending the fight by TKO. In that instant, the Kaseya Center erupted in a mixture of awe and jubilation. Jack Della Maddalena's victory wasn't just a result, it was the culmination of his evolution, of every challenge overcome, and of that iron determination that had allowed him to transform into a truly elite finisher.
I mean, Della Maddalena's decision to try that kick.
He rolled out of it. Beautiful job by Jack. Nice in the body.
Burns covered up and now elbows!
Goodness.
Burns trying to
That's it. That's it.
17 in a row!
Jack Della Maddalena is the embodiment of passion and evolution in MMA. From his explosive beginnings to his epic victories in the UFC, his career is proof that technique, aggression, and determination can break barriers and forge legends. With each fight, Jack not only outclasses his opponents, but also leaves his indelible mark on the history of the sport. If you'd like to see more of his fights, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming stories and fights. See you in the next video.